Lily discovers the Enchanted Garden, a magical adventure story for kids. Lily was a curious and adventurous girl who loved to explore the outdoors. She spent her days wandering through the lush forests, climbing trees, and playing with the animals she found along the way. Her village was small, but it was surrounded by a beautiful and vast forest that seemed to stretch on endlessly. One day, as Lily was wandering through the woods, she came across a hidden path that she had never seen before. Intrigued, she decided to follow it to see where it would lead. The path wound through the trees and eventually led her to a clearing, where she discovered the most beautiful garden she had ever seen. The garden was unlike anything she had ever seen before. It was filled with vibrant colors, exotic plants, and the sweetest smells. It was as if the garden had been touched by magic, and Lily was in awe of its beauty. As she explored the garden, she felt a sense of peace and happiness wash over her, and she knew that she had discovered something truly special. As she wandered deeper into the garden, Lily heard a rustling in the bushes. She cautiously approached the sound, only to discover a group of friendly fairies who lived there. They welcomed her with open arms and showed her around the garden, introducing her to all of the magical plants and creatures that lived there. Lily was amazed by the fairies and their magical home. The fairies were tiny, with delicate wings and mischievous grins. They flitted from flower to flower, and Lily was fascinated by their graceful movements. The fairies were excited to have a new friend, and they eagerly showed her around the garden, pointing out all the different types of plants and animals that lived there. As they explored the garden, the fairies told Lily about the magic that surrounded them. They explained that the garden was protected by a powerful spell that kept it hidden from those who did not believe in magic. Only those with pure hearts and a love of nature were able to find the garden. The fairies showed Lily the ancient symbols etched into the bark of a nearby tree, explaining that they were part of the protection spell. They also pointed out the small crystals hidden among the leaves of some of the plants, which were said to amplify the magic of the garden. Lily was fascinated by the protective magic surrounding the garden, and she asked the fairies more about it. They told her that it had been passed down through generations of fairies and was created to keep the garden safe from those who would harm it. The fairies feared that the nearby village, where the villagers were cutting down trees and destroying the natural habitats of the animals, would soon discover the garden and destroy it, just like they had done to the forests around their village. Lily realized the importance of the protection spell and vowed to help protect the Enchanted Garden from harm. She promised to keep the magic of the garden a secret and to do whatever she could to ensure its safety. The fairies were pleased with Lily's dedication and promised to help her in any way they could. As the day drew to a close, Lily bid farewell to her new friends and made her way back to her village. She felt different, as if she had been touched by magic herself. She was filled with a newfound sense of purpose and determination, knowing that she had a responsibility to protect the Enchanted Garden and the fairies who called it home. Days turned into weeks, and Lily continued to visit the Enchanted Garden, learning more about its magic and the creatures who lived there. She would often spend hours sitting among the flowers, listening to the birds chirping and the fairies' laughter as they played around her. One day, as she was leaving the garden, Lily noticed a group of villagers heading towards the woods, carrying axes and saws. She knew they were heading towards the Enchanted Garden, and she felt a surge of panic and fear. Lily knew that she had to act quickly to protect the garden. She ran back to her village and rallied her friends and family, telling them about the magic garden and the fairies who lived there. They were hesitant at first, but Lily's passion and conviction convinced them to help. Together, they set up a watch around the Enchanted Garden, keeping a close eye on anyone who came too close. They also started a petition to protect the forests and their natural habitats from destruction. Thanks to Lily's dedication and hard work, the Enchanted Garden and its protective spell were never discovered by those who sought to harm it. The garden continued to flourish, and the fairies were able to live in peace and harmony, knowing that they were protected by the magic of the garden and the love and dedication of Lily and her community. Years later, as an adult, Lily still visited the Enchanted Garden whenever she could. She had never forgotten the lessons she had learned there about the importance of protecting nature and the power of magic. She knew that the garden and its magic would always be a part of her, and that she would carry it with her always.